Welcome to the Prescott Home Value Report through June 2026, brought to you by the Prescott Pickle Lady, Diane Breaux, Realtor. As you can probably tell, I am not the Pickle Lady. That's me in the bottom right-hand corner. My name is Randall, and the Pickle Lady has authorized me to show you the following slides. As always, starting with the Prescott median sales price per square foot in the city of Prescott. Each one of these dots represents a month. Those are the homes that sold in that month. The red line is this year. The blue line is last year. And as you can see, comparing this past month's price per square foot to last year's price per square foot in the month of June, we have a negative 2%. So a little bit lower for a while this year. Look like we're going to be a little higher. Then we had a dip. It's been even Steven. That's still pretty close. I don't know if I'd call that a drop just yet, but certainly we've lost some ground that we gained early in this year. Turning now to transaction volume, that's still looking pretty good. Once again, each one of these dots represents a month. The number is the number of transactions that closed in that month. Once again, red is this year and blue is last year. Our transaction volume has actually looked pretty good compared to last year, starting in March, and got a lot more in April, a little bit less in May, and it looks like that gap's about the same. So that looks like about 25 on maybe 100. So 25% higher than last year in June. Doesn't feel like that sometimes, but actually our transaction volume is looking pretty good. So you may be wondering, so is this a buyer's market, a seller's market? The way that we answer that question is with our pending ratio analysis. And the way that works is when we looked at what was on the market, we had 685 units in inventory. Of those, 106 were already pending. Well, 106 is 15% of 685. So our pending ratio is 15%. If you look up 15% on our handy dandy colored chart here, you'll see that that is a strong buyer's market. We've been there for quite some time. That pending ratio kind of bounces around a little bit. But we're still in strong buyer territory, which is typical for the city of Prescott. Breaking that out by price point gives you something that looks a little like this. So once again, each one of these dots represents homes. Those are the homes in that price point for the current month. And the red line, this gives you the pending ratio for the homes in that price market. And the blue is the number of homes in that price market. So this is sort of typical. Usually when you're in the 300s, 400s, these are more of a seller's market. So these will be kind of up here. This is a very flat, and it's been that way for a couple of months now. It's a very flat pending ratio. It doesn't really matter what price point you're looking at. They're all kind of buyer's market. A lot of them are right on the cusp, buyer's market to a strong buyer's market. A couple of price points here, 900s and the millions. Those are extreme buyer's markets. And then we have a little relief for 1.1 and 1.2 and above. So how long does it take for homes to sell in the city of Prescott? Well, from the time that you take it and put it on MLS, that is 134 days until you get your contract. So that's 4.5 months. It usually takes about a month in escrow. We've been running a little less than 1 month. That means we're getting a little more, a few more of the cash deals. Those cash deals tend to go a little faster. So maybe the mix of cash deals went up a little bit. So we're less than a month. I think that was true last month as well. So from soup to nuts, 5.3 months for the city overall. Turning now to the city of Prescott Valley, back to the same slide we had before, the median sales price per square foot. This is kind of a boring chart. So once again, each one of these dots represents the homes that sold in that month. Red is this month, blue is last month. So the last time we had a price per square in Prescott Valley that was higher than last year was in January. We dipped a little bit below in February. We've been running a little shy, about negative 2%. And that's been kind of lockstep for the last several months. So this month is no change. Turning to transaction volume, again, not a really exciting chart. We're neck and neck. So unlike Prescott, the city of Prescott, where we're seeing the transaction volume significantly higher, Prescott Valley is about even, Steven, maybe marginally a few more transactions than last year. So is it buyer's market, seller's market? Well, the pending ratio is 21%. That's 88 pending on 412 total for inventory. So the pending ratio is 21%. That is marginally a buyer's market. You know, it's kind of 21 is kind of 20 is kind of the cutoff. So almost a strong buyer's market, but kind of a buyer's market. So not much too, but I think the pending ratio was 15 for Prescott. So it's a little better than the city of Prescott, but still very much a buyer's market. Breaking that out by price point gives us this. Once again, kind of a flat line, although we have some weirdness going on down at the very low end of the market. Not sure why we've got a strong buyer's market in the 400s. You would think that would be way up here, but sometimes, particularly in Prescott Valley, you get a number of homes in the lower price points that kind of fixer-uppers, you know, so they kind of sit around for a while. So that might be what's going on down there. Once you get to the 500s, the chart kind of looks like you would expect it. Typically, the higher the price point, the lower this line gets, the more of a buyer's market it becomes, the higher the price point. And you kind of see that, but for the most part, it's just kind of a straight line. How long does it take to sell? 4.4 months. I think that's what, was that a month faster? 1.2 in escrow, 1.2 months in escrow. So that means we have fewer cash deals. So those tend to push it a little bit higher. Or sometimes we have contingency offers that will push the escrow further as well. But for whatever reason, we got a little over 1 month in escrow over in PV. From the time you go on MLS until a contract, 4.4 months, and then overall 5.6, which is, I think, pretty close to what it was in Prescott. Let's see, months to contract, 4.5 in Prescott, 4.4 in Prescott Valley. So this is our highlights. Right now, the median price per square in Prescott is $327. That is exactly what it was last month. And so that's a negative 2%. That's 2% depreciation since last year. In PV, $293, again, same as last month, and still negative 2% over last year. Volume 130, so that is 9% higher than last month. So it's spiking a bit. And 25% higher than last year. I think that's the number I said before. So 25%, that's a good bump. That means we're getting a lot of activity. We're 6% higher in Prescott Valley, although we dropped 14% from last month. We're still 6% higher than last year in terms of transaction volume. Inventory, we're at 685, which is a 2% increase since last month, 3% increase in PV, bringing us to 412. If you add those two numbers together, that's about 1,100, something like that. Generally, I think of 1,200 as kind of normal, like pre-COVID, where inventory typically was between Prescott Valley and Prescott. We're at 1,100. So I don't think we quite made it to 1,200. That's become sort of the new normal, so 1,100. And we talked about the months to contract, 4.5 in Prescott. That's a little bit faster, and maybe a week or two faster in Prescott, and 4.4 in Prescott Valley, which is about a half a month longer. Now, this video covers highlights, but it's not all we're doing. We actually do a whole bunch more. You can see the full report for lots of slicing and dicing. If you just go to the pickle page, I'll tell you a little bit more about that. The important thing is this is not the only monthly report we do. We actually have lots of stuff that we do for both buyers and sellers. And this is all stuff that you can only get from the Pickle Lady. So if you have not been to the pickle page, you should get to the pickle page because you got stuff like this on there. This is our appraiser eye view. So this is a report that we run. We run for the whole city, and we also have a separate report just for the subdivision of Prescott Lakes. It is sorted by price per square foot, so that you've got the lowest homes on the top, the lowest price per square, leading up to the highest price per square. And this is how many months it took to sell, the square footage, year it was built, how many stories, how many acres, and whether the home has a view or not. We even have a video there that kind of explains how to use this information to estimate the value of your home or whatever home you happen to be interested in. We do a subdivision snapshot for the top 40 subdivisions. So you can see kind of the price ranges, square foot ranges, gives you a good sense of what kind of homes are in the subdivision. And of course, you can look at the prices and whether they have a view. This is the percent of homes that sold that have a view. The price, the cost of the HOA. So it really kind of gives you a really good snapshot of all of these subdivisions. So as I said, this is all on what we call the pickle page. Now, if you want to go to the pickle page, you can go there. The address is pickle76, as in 1776, right? Pickle76.com. As I said, we do update it every month. You don't have to subscribe to get access to it. You could go to it anytime you want. But if you don't want to miss it, because again, we're getting updates that are going out every month, subscribe. You'll see some information there on where you can do that. And you will get a reminder every time we send this out, which we do once a month. Depending on where you're seeing this, if you look below, you will probably you will see the link to Pickle 76 or the Pickle page. There may be a button below. If there's a button below, you'll see the button, the big green button. If you are on YouTube, it'll be in the description. If you go in the description, but if you don't want to do any of that, you could just go to pickle76.com and it will take you there. Hope you've enjoyed it and hope to see you again next month.